What's up, guys? Today we're going to be playing as Turkey and trying to reform the Ottoman Empire. So, as you can see, there's a pretty big task ahead of us. I mean, of course, it's a pretty big region, and of course, the Ottoman Empire, they conquered a massive, massive chunk of the world at their peak. So, yeah, this isn't going to be too easy, but you know what? We can do it. Now, my main tactic is essentially going to be to firstly strike into the European part of the Ottoman Empire and capture those lands first, and then we'll be moving on to mainly the Middle Eastern part of it. And as you can see, we're conquering Bulgaria right now, and it's gone pretty well. Next up, we're gonna, just after assimilating this, we're gonna go after North Macedonia, which should also be a relatively easy conflict, considering, well, we have much more resources, which is essentially why I chose this route in the first place, because the European states, right, of the ex-Ottoman Empire territories, like, they're mostly small states, so they are very easy comparatively to conquer. And so, yeah, it's relatively, compared to, like, the Arabian parts of it, relatively easy. So we're just going to take a few turns right now, just build up a little bit, and also assimilate Bulgaria, so that we can get the extra manpower. But this should definitely be enough. And yeah, I was initially thinking of invading Greece, but they're really good allies of mine, so I'm going to put that off for now. And I'm going to turn my sights to Kosovo more specifically. And so Kosovo, of course, is going to be a very easy conquest. So yeah, they're going to just fall to me, really. They did not want to just deal with, you know, my massive ass army. So yeah. Next up, we're going to take out Serbia. This will also be a relatively quick invasion. Serbia's pretty small, and you know they can't put up much of a resistance. I'll just leave the top bit out, just so I want to make these borders as accurate as possible and keep them as accurate as possible. So, you know what, Serbia gets to live just as one province. It's kind of depressing, but it is what it is. Next up, we're going to take out Montenegro. This is a relatively easy conquest, and also, again, I'll leave them alive to keep the borders as close to them, close to the reality as possible. Next up, we're going to go after Bosnia. Of course, we're not going to run into their landmines, but hey, you know what? This is also a relatively quick invasion, and yeah, it just took them out just like that. Next up, Croatia. I wanted to get them to surrender, but they really didn't, so I just sort of, yeah, I sort of ignore them, and I decide to just go after Syria instead. No, wait, sorry, my bad. I'm planning to go after Romania right now. See, because Romania is one of the last countries for European Turkey, and I'm just gonna build up my army, and yeah, I think I'm ready to go, just about right now. Now I'm gonna get them to attack Ukraine just so that they're distracted in the north. And then I'll just be able to steamroll them pretty easily. And so I'm only gonna take the lands that I require. So I'm not gonna take everything in the peace deal. Just to sweeten the deal. I'm just invading just to sweeten the deal, man. So we're gonna take the lands we only require. I'm just making sure. Yep. Just gotta make sure. And yeah, just make sure to take the lands we only really need. And so just like that, we're done with the conquest of Romania, or all the Romanian lands, but it won't be the last time. But as you can see now, Egypt declares war on me randomly, and see, this is kind of putting a dent in my plans, and they don't make peace with me either when I ask them to, or ask politely. So you know how it is. I gotta invade them. I just gotta invade them. So yeah, as you can see here, I invade them pretty easily. I took out their defenses relatively quickly. They kept trying to naval invade me, which I found kind of dumb, mainly because, you know, naval invasions, they're nice and all, but it gives way more of an advantage to the defender than the attacker, so it doesn't make too much sense, considering Egypt is like right here. They like border the province as well, so it makes sense. But now that I've taken most of their main provinces, they surrender to me, and all of a sudden Iraq attacks me. So now I have to defend this border as well. They're actually pretty much of a pain, and yeah, I'm just nearly able to defend it, of course. But of course, after a while, I just get my shit together, and yeah, Iraq does not. Iraq pretty much pieces out quickly. I didn't want to deal with it. So, like I wanted to assimilate Egypt first, and also this invasion of Hungary was pretty annoying. But luckily, since I'm powerful enough as of now, nation as you know, nations are doing the thing where like they peace out with me just automatically, and so Indonesia started attacking me, and I essentially got Vietnam to distract them because I really don't want to deal with invading Indonesia. It's just gonna be a pain. So I want to get this done with really quickly. So next up, I'm gonna invade the Levant basically, and I try to get Israel to like capitulate like that, just by annexation, but they didn't. So I had to invade them. But now I'm preparing to invade Croatia, right? And so I just wanted to finish up all of the European conquests, and you can see, relatively easy. They just surrendered to me very quickly. And then after that, that basically just finished it all up, and I'm now moving troops down. So ironically enough, I was meant to move through Syria down to Egypt, but funny enough, it's going the opposite way. Now I'm going upwards, so I'm going south to north. Kind of weird, but eh. I mean, I guess, Egypt kind of changed the plans, like, with their whole, going to war with me. But, it's a welcome change, and it's not really a problem. To be honest, I was able to naval invade pretty easily. So we just took out the Levant right here, and we're gonna take. Jordan surrendered pretty easily. They really did not want to mess with the Ottomans. They really did not want to mess with the Ottomans. So now I'm planning to invade Syria, which is also going to be a relatively easy victory considering I'm practically surrounding them on all sides. So it ain't nothing, man. It's just nothing. So yeah, it's a relatively quick invasion, and it goes pretty well. So just a few turns. They don't manage to mount a counterattack successfully. So yeah, I only take what I need, and I assimilate all these provinces. And so Syria is no more. Ironically enough, Turkey is invading Syria in real life. It's just nobody really talks about it, except people who know about the Syrian conflict. Anyways, I took over Lebanon and took down Lebanon, and now I'm tired of going after like these leaving these guys behind. I need to take out the European countries. So I first focused my sights on Albania. It's gonna be Albania, then Greece. Even though I didn't want to, I know I can't waste any more time. So yeah, annexed Albania easily enough. And then next up was gonna be Greece. And for this one, I needed to raise a pretty big army, so spent a little bit of money. And for some reason, Jordan goes to war with me again. I don't know why. They had no chance. So instead, I just puppeted them, and now they're just my vassal state. So now I look back and realize Romania is good friends of mine, right? But so I leave them alone for now. And now I plan to invade Greece. I start moving my troops back because I realize if I try to maintain two armies at once on like two ends, it's gonna be really annoying and frustrating. So yeah, I plan to invade Greece, even though I didn't really want to. They were very good allies of mine, but it's again time, man. I gotta do this challenge. It's nothing personal, bro. It's just a challenge, man. And just like Egypt, Greece also tries to naval invade me a bunch of times, which is, again, I find pretty strange considering they're like having land-connected territories. But yeah, the invasion of Greece goes pretty easily. And funny enough, Romania was at war with them too, but they didn't get any territory. And Indonesia actually managed to land a naval invasion, but they peaced out with me. And I was actually preparing to fight them, but yeah, they peaced out. So it was all good. So now I have all these troops left over, and I decide to bring them all together in Athens so that I can prepare to move out. And I decide to just annex Cyprus, and this time they listen. So I take over Cyprus just like that. Didn't really require an invasion. And next up, now I have to invade Iraq and finally get revenge on them for, well, basically randomly attacking me. So I start assembling my troops. And yeah, I mainly recruit from Syria because they got pretty good recruiting areas. And so yeah, and then even though Iraq even has good relations with me, I still invade them again. I need to complete this challenge. So yeah, the invasion of Iraq goes pretty easily. As usual, the AI just sends, like, it takes all its money and just sends its first wave, and that's it. So I invade Iraq whole scale. I don't just leave any. I don't leave any provinces behind. They do manage to mount a successful counterattack and take Baghdad again, but yeah, I managed to contain it. And what happens, unfortunately, is, as you can see, Iranians happen to be passing through Iraq. And the thing about this game is when troops are passing through another country's territory and you attack that province, you kill those units as well. So Iran pieces out with me, but they still hold those provinces, so it takes me a while. And then when they give them back to Iraq, I take them. And so now that's just the conquest of Iraq completed. And so I only annex the bits I want, right? I don't want just unnecessary provinces. The rest were just, one star provinces anyways, so. I try annexing Kuwait, but they refuse, so I'm like, screw this shit, I'm invading you. And then, yeah, I nuked Kuwait out of existence, so I wiped them out of existence. And so next up, then after this, I essentially prepare to invade Saudi Arabia. So I start recruiting from Egypt, mainly because they have a really, really high population, so they're a great place to recruit from, especially like Cairo and Giza, man. Like, they got like thousands of people. You can do, like, as you saw there, like I think 5,000 or 6,000 per time, like per recruitment, or per turn more accurately. So over here right now, I just invade Saudi Arabia, and funny enough, they're actually at war with Iran, but so probably helped that they were at war with Iran, and the fact that probably most of their troops were probably distracted, but they still do try naval invasions, which I really don't get about the AI in this game. I just don't get it. Like, why naval invade when there's like what do you call it? There's land contact right there. It's kind of funny, but anyways, yeah, they essentially kill a lot of their people trying to naval invade the provinces I take. So what I do to mitigate that is I essentially put like 11,000 troops in the ocean, as you saw there. And so now they can't naval invade me anymore and be a pain in the ass. And so I conquer all the way down, and essentially that's my entire Saudi Arabian conquest complete. It's all the territory I really need. And that completes that, and I just assimilate it all. Of course, Ethiopia for some reason just attacks me, but by this point I'm the #1 power in the world, so they just back off when I tell them to peace out. And so right now I'm moving everyone back to it's around Israel, right? So I'm moving everyone back, and all I have left right now is just Russia, or well, not Russia exactly. It's controlled by China right now, but they're invading Russia, so technically it's still Russian lands. So instead of going after that, which would have been annoying, I'd have to declare war on China and Russia, and that would just be annoying. I decided to go to war with Romania again because remember how they went to war with Ukraine? Well, they took Ukrainian lands that I needed. So to invade Romania, I get them to declare war on Italy, and so they're distracted there. And then I take all the provinces that I need. But I make a crucial mistake, because as you can see, I leave a part of Crimea. I leave Sevastopol in their hands, which I was also supposed to take. So now I go to war with Ukraine, and I take that very easily. Ukraine's weakened by, well, the Romanian invasion, so it's all good. And Russia was also weakened by the Chinese invasion, so both countries really did not put up a fight to keep their lands. So now I have to prepare to invade Romania again, so I have to, like, essentially, I rebuild my army, and then I have to wait till the damn truce is over. As you can see, see in a minute. I have to essentially wait until the damn truce is over. And so that's, Romania is essentially the last one on my list. And with that, I do end up forming the Ottoman Empire. Just one province, man. And in just one video, I went to war with Romania like 3 times. And with that, the Ottoman Empire is complete.